I used to be that kid where, I mean, I went to the BMW dealership. I paid cash for cars. I'd wear shorts and a t-shirt, didn't care, it's kind of a show off, like I have this, I've got boats and I've got, everything. And one day it just kind of came crashing where I got complacent. I started playing golf more. It really didn't work the business. Next thing you know, I ran out of money. And I remember I woke up and I was so frustrated at myself. I woke up at like 5 in the morning, which I don't get up at 5 in the morning. Like I take after my grandmother. We don't go to bed till after midnight. And I said, I'm not coming home until I find a deal. I get in the car, start driving. About lunchtime, I realized that even if I found a deal today, it probably wouldn't close for 30 days or so. Right at that moment, I got a call from an investor I had sold properties to. And he said, Hey, Chris, I need a mobile home lot, which wasn't even work in mobile homes or lots or anything. He said, Hey, I need a mobile home lot. I just seller financed a mobile home, but I need a lot to put it on. And this is the general area that she wants to move it to. I was like, well, I don't know of any, but let me go over there and see what I can find. He said, call me back. So I go racing over there. If I got there faster, the money would come in faster. And I found 3 vacant lots. Down the addresses, had to go back home to look them up on the tax assessor, right? Of course, we didn't have cell phones like you do today where you just pull a number up. I got 2 of the 3 phone numbers and I called the first one. It said, sorry, that number is disconnected. I'm like, damn. I called the third number and I am not kidding you. This is how the conversation went. I said, hi, my name is Chris. I was calling about this vacant lot that you had. Do you want to sell it? Like, I thought if I spoke faster, like everything would happen faster. The guy said, yeah, I want to sell it. I said, well, how much do you want for it? He said, I don't know. Make me an offer. I said, I'll give you 3 grand for it. He said, give me 5 and I'll take it. I said, all right, I'll send you a contract. Do you have a number or email? Let me send it to you. And I went to just drew up the contract, sent it over to him. This is all happening the same afternoon. He emails it back to me. I call my investor. I said, hey, I just put this lot under contract. He said, what's the address? So I give him the address. He said, let me call you back. He calls his buyer for the mobile home, calls me back, and he said, hey, can you be there at 5:30? I said, I'll be there. And the whole time I'm like, oh God, I hope she likes it. Come on, I hope she likes it. Just so stressed out. She walks the property and she's like, I love it. I was like, yes. So my investor said, hey, how much do you have it under contract for, behind the scenes? And I told him 5 grand. He goes, all right, I'll give you $1,000, on top of the 5. I said, great. Hey, his name was Brian. I said, hey, Brian, is there any way we could maybe expedite this closing? He pulled out his checkbook and wrote me a check for 1,000. He hadn't even bought the place yet. Here's $1,000. Go get me an assignment of contract and we'll be good to go. I had worked with him before, so there was some kind of relationship, but he was never a stupid kind of business investor, like to give me money before it actually even closed. We don't even know if it's going to close or not, right? There could be title issues, whatever it may be. And the deal did go through. And I was just like, that was just a sign of God. Like, that's how I looked at it. Like, there's no way that could happen. It never happens. And it was that moment of time that I became so stupid, but yet so smart. Like I had to change. And when I woke up that morning, I completely changed. I was a different person after that. The very next month, I did a deal that had 3 houses, 12 duplexes, an apartment complex, and 3 vacant lots on one contract. Things just really started to change for me. And it was just like, why is it in life that we have to go through these bad moments to learn, but that's just life. I think we all get frustrated with things, especially when they go wrong. Oh my gosh, these are lessons that you can't learn in school. These are lessons you can't read in a book. These are lessons that I needed to learn, not somebody else, but these are just my lessons to make me a better person, to make me grow from where I was and not become complacent and not always saying, oh, it's all going to come in and I'm just going to buy all these really cool toys. I learned at that moment of time that there's so much more things that are valuable. And time was I realized the only thing in the world you can't buy. And I needed to maximize my time doing the things that I like to do. Sure, I like to take a vacation or take time off, but my time is to build that business because that business at the end of the day was helping out so many different people. Distressed homeowners, somebody that just went into pre-foreclosure, or helping another investor invest into a property. It was really about the human connection that we should have and really helping so many people. It be a contractor that, we bought 18 houses and we're rehabbing them all in 1 year. I needed crews of contractors and it was paying the bills and feeding their kids. And because of the actions that I took, instead of becoming complacent. And that was a really huge change. It wasn't like a life or death situation, but it felt that way. But it was there, I believe, to make me change, to make me better than what I was yesterday. Get it from there's got to be a reason, type of thing. What do I need to learn from this? Why is this not happening? What is it that I need to do to change in order for this to take place? It's so easy to blame. It's their fault or it was my parents' fault. And at the end of the day, I think it's just really there to make us all better. You always hear the saying, when it rains, it pours, right? Yeah, that does happen to all of us. One problem, then you got 10. But instead of worrying about all 10, just worry about the one you have right in front of you, because you'll get so frustrated about 10 problems that you don't do anything about any of them. Overwhelmed with so many different problems. It's like, I need to take one problem at a time. I'm going to fix this. All right, what's the next one?